Alright. It's not too big of a distance to get back and forth between these places. Like, it's just sort of to that annoying level of... It isn't super far, but it's still annoying because it takes a minute or two to get there. But it's not like it takes 10 minutes where you like think more carefully about how to plan it all the way through. Alright, let's try teleporting.
The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop.
We still have all the savoir-faire stuff equipped? No. Alright, let's put it on then. We've been changing outfits a lot today. What was savoir-faire? That was minus again. Do we not have anything? No, we do have sunglasses. Okay, they give +1 at least.
The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop.
Teleport to the roof.
On second
God damn
thought,
it.
maybe teleportation isn't a thing.
Why?
Because you're just standing there squeezing your buttocks and nothing is happening.
Kim, do you know where I could get that teleportation apparatus?
Teleportation apparatus? I don't remember mentioning anything about teleportation apparatus. Please don't try to climb the building. We'll get in another way.
He did. He totally said something about the apparatus. God damn it.
Yeah, he totally did. We're not too far away. So I could put another... Actually, no, that was... So yeah, it was savoir-faire. So I could put another point into that. But first... First I need to get those 28 experience. Okay. Yes. Let's go to Egghead. Maybe he will give me those few experience points. Hopefully. I could really use them. Alright. And maybe eventually like my fort finishes too. We'll see what that gives me.
The large-headed youth has closed his eyes, lost in the music. Sensing you, he opens them.
Incremental progress! Yeah!
I found this reel of tape. Maybe you can use it to hard up Egg's jam.
Yeah! Remix time! Tape goes here, into deck B.
He clicks a switch, the tape starts spinning.
A hand on his ear, he listens to the audio through his headphones and shouts.
Wow! Did you get this from Arno himself?
What do you mean?
Listen, I'm just going to show it to you. Ready?
Ready.
Wow! Here's that! The signs matched perfectly! Now if only we had the beat for the full assault, it would be unbelievably hyper!
Intriguing. The way I see it, Van Eyck based his remix on some famous original piece, like a folk song, something local. Seems you found an initial part with the main melody.
I think it's just happenstance. Chaos in action. Contingencies of our limited existence. That and Egghead's fantastic talent.
He nods to his friend behind the turntables.
Noid's right. Egghead's technical talent is the key. No, this is definitely part of the same song. Something cut from it. It fits too well.
Andre's got it. Sounds like a local song remixed.
Be how it may, if it fits, it fits! Bring up the volume!
What about the bass? Do you have any ideas for that?
Andre looks back at you.
Yeah, I remember. You said it needs more bass.
You can't just leave it without a bass track.
Honestly, nothing springs to my mind right now, but I'll see if I can come up with a solution down the lane.
Yo, the warrior! The warrior of dance music!
Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't figure it out. I think the jam's already pretty ultra.
But it could be hyper hardcore.
Alright. Sounds any better now?
Oh, nah.
No.
You heard
Okay.
me.
Help Egghead with the beat. This may take a while. As always, of course. And I assume I still can't actually teleport, and I got no experience for this either. Which is not great. I could probably just run around looking for more white checks. Oh, my perception increased again. That's good. So now, I've got another perception test. Maybe I can hear something now. Let's see. Of course I need to make sure again that I've got perception stuff equipped. I think I had +2 perception at one point. So I should have something else that increases it a bit. Yep. Just have the +1. That's fine.
Yes, what is it?
58?
Everything disappears. You are draped in silence like a drowning man staring into his puny little headspace. And then the pressure changes.
Yes, but can I hear anything?
It feels like flying on an aerostatic, or when your ears pop, or like a subtle difference in the atmosphere, a weather change hanging in the air. What if the sound you're looking for is too low for you to hear it?
Suna, what if we just need a better sound system?
A better sound system? Alright, but where would we get one?
Suddenly, a rhythmic beat permeates the walls, causing a small patch of decorative stucco to crumble onto the wooden floor.
They should really allocate some renovation funds to this place.
Murmurs the lieutenant, inspecting the damage done to the arabesques.
No. What they really should do is shut down the disco men for disturbing neighborhood peace.
Yes, but they could help with the speakers.
You mean the speed freaks?
She closes her eyes as more dance music invades the holy silence of the sanctuary.
Of course. The speed freaks. They have a fantastic sound system. And you think they would help me?
They would if you wouldn't mind them moving in with you.
I guess I could live through a week or two of peaceful coexistence.
Great! I'll go talk to them then.
Sure. Let me know how it goes. Thanks, officer.
Alright, that's great. That solves another problem we've had. Getting lucky, always good. We're sort of stringing along right now, just going from one task to another, because we're running out of them, but so far we're still successful in finding ways to the next one. Alright. Andre. We've struck a deal.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
About this tent full of equipment,
Yes.
maybe?
What?
No?
He nods enthusiastically.
Here to talk about
no
the church
doubt,
again,
a
that's it.
little relieved.
Yes? What's the deal?
Good news, I managed to convince Sona. She's okay with you guys moving in, but on one condition. She needs your speakers for her project.
We are grateful, Cotman. You're a true ally and the augury of a new era of anodic dance music.
The speed freak smiles, happier than he's ever been before. You're going to have to share space for a couple of weeks until she gets her research finished.
That's fine. We can manage.
He grins, excited.
And what about the side business? Have you made up your mind?
You mean the drug lab? Yeah, that's not going to happen. It's illegal, you see.
Oh man, really? You're a complete ballbuster. Fine, we can make do. It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours maybe. Come check back later. Let's get moving.
Alright. That's some odd sound effects.
Searchlight Division. You sharpened your senses by being on the lookout for missing persons. Now you notice more of what's happening around you. Perhaps, when you're done with this case, you can join the Searchlight Division of the RCM and find every Revacholian that's ever gone missing without a trace. There is undoubtedly a backlog of such cases, because you never know. A missing person could be just around the edge, barely out of sight.
+2 perception. You could have used that earlier, but sure. We'll take it. I doubt it's going to be much use for anything at the moment. Do we have any perception checks left? No, we have no perception checks. Okay. Are they already in the church now, or do I genuinely have to wait a couple hours? Let's see. Come on. There you go. Sometimes he still doesn't really want to run, but that's okay. Yeah, okay. Looks pretty cool here.
Yes, what is it?
She doesn't look up from the keyboard. How's the project going? I see that your neighbors have moved in, but all I hear is anodic dance music.
What? What did you say?
You can barely hear her over the thumping bass of anodic dance music. I said, how's the project going?
I can't hear you! The music is too loud!
The project, how is it going?
Oh, the project! It's not going well!
Why?
There's that guy! I need him to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixer into the speakers.
Why don't you just ask him?
He doesn't listen to me! He only ever seems to care about hardcore and Yekokata! A place to be, apparently!
I'll speak to him, see what I can do.
Thanks! Maybe you can get through his magic rhymes!
She does jazz hands to mock him.
Let me know how it goes!
I will. Egghead.
DeLorean Church, the place to be! Make some noise, my church people!
Large speakers are set up behind a young man blasting a familiar song.
Vibrations thump through your blue soul. The music sounds much better in the church. He stands on stage behind a table, nodding along to the music and waving his hand in the air. In front of him, the audio mixer, one reel spinning. The other reel deck is empty. Cables run hither and thither. On one side, you see an auxiliary line in with the number 4.5 written next to it.
Egg, can you please route sonar signal through your speakers?
To the mega! Yeah! I can route it through auxiliary! What kind of a cable does she use? 3.5 or 4.5?
It's 3.5, no doubt about it. It's underground.
Oh, she uses 3.5. Yeah. The auxiliary lining is 4.5 millimeter. These two don't mix.
Oh no, we're going to be in this church forever.
Don't worry, I have an adapter for it right here.
He searches for the cable on the ground and picks it up, looking at the jack.
Hang on, this is a 4.5. We're all good, people!
With a grin, he sticks the plug into the auxiliary line and you hear a satisfying click.
Whoa, thank God. Adapters noticeably degrade the sound quality.
Great! Someone got through to him! Okay, let's get it all set up. Can we turn the music off, please?
Egg, the music?
Everybody! Everybody! Don't panic! I'm going to turn off the Arno for just a sec. For a special scheduled event. The Arno will be back, but we're doing something else for one moment. Alright, go tell her that Egghead is ready to rave to her tunes. And then I'll turn off the music.
Just before you do that quickly, how do you like it in the church?
Yeah! Back on the case! No disgrace! Bring it down to party place! The first page of the second chapter!
His voice echoes all around the grand hall.
Could it be? Maybe for him, you only have a chapter or two left in you. Last of the penultimate, more like.
Alright. So now.
Yes, what is it?
Alright, I talked to Egghead. He plugged in the cable. You can now unmute your speakers.
Okay, but think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit? Just in case.
Maximum!
Shouts Egghead, a great smile still adorning his face, larger than a red dwarf star.
Maximum is the only way!
I know it is, but could you please turn it down just this instance? Just this one time? Maximum is not the only way, okay?
Pump it to the brick! Pump it to the hard master! There's no other way! Glue style!
Glue style? Okay, there literally is no other way. The mixing desk is glued to maximum.
See? He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless.
Why do you want to turn down the volume?
Because I'm afraid that something might happen. It's an unknown phenomenon. We can always turn it back up if there's a need.
Can't turn down the hardcore!
I think what Egghead is trying to say here is that the volume button is stuck on maximum.
Of course it is.
She shrugs, consigned to her fate.
Yeah! Permanent enlightenment! Ray of sound!
Never mind then. Let's get on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speakers on a count of 5. Everyone ready?
She looks around the church.
Egghead pumps his hand up in the air, waiting for the beat to drop.
Born ready.
Says Andre.
Ready.
Yells Noid.
I'm ready if you two are detectives.
Oh, she's here too.
The lieutenant nods stoically.
Hold on for a moment.
What?
Never mind, let's do this. I'm ready. Woo!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mute disengaged.
She lifts her hand from the keyboard. Complete silence fills the room.
No wind outside, no waves, no floorboards creaking. Total, continuous silence. This is unnatural. The woman looks around. In the silence, you see dust move on the floorboards. The driver of the speaker vibrates in the air and then stops. Plasterwork begins to crumble down the walls. In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine. It's a song inside you, not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly, it builds until the air around you starts to vibrate. It's out there now, in the world, made manifest. It will devour everything. The floorboards, the glass, the streets and the people. Nothing will remain.
Guys, what's going on?
There's alarm in the man's voice. As he steps back to scan the surroundings, a slight rattle like crystal clattering in the cupboard fills the air, joining the chorus.
It's getting louder.
Says Noid, his eyes riveted on the strange circle of water basins.
In the basins, the water looks like it's boiling.
Hosiana! Mother of Mega!
You hear Egghead yell, then something else, but his voice is growing faint.
He's peaking, the worst high he's ever been on.
Hey, what's that weird rattling sound?
The beauty and the beat! The future of dance! Planetary!
No, Egg! It's the window!
The glass shards around Dolores Day's vacant heart appear to be vibrating from the sound. It almost looks as if she's alive.
In the corner of your eye, the lieutenant steps aside, cautiously, his eyes searching for a possible evacuation route.
The window is going to come down. No, the roof!
She looks up. A screech fills the air, a scream of wooden nails. The pillars of the church twist and creak above and around you.
Cracks appear on the stained glass window. Cracks run up the wooden pillars in the dark.
Come down to us! Love!
It's shaking the building's foundation. The floor twists. A great pulse arises in your flesh.
That's it. I'm muting it.
Yeah, we should stop. Sona muted.
Shit! It doesn't stop.
Oh.
A seal? Have you?
Estelle, be careful. There's stuff falling on you.
Yes, I've turned it off.
She yells, holding the contact mic in her hand.
Andre, pull the compressor. The place is gonna come down.
Fuck! I can't shut it up. The signal's passed. It's not in here. It's...
In the mixing desk now, building into a positive feedback loop. This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass shatters somewhere near the door. It's coming down.
Egghead, it's in the desk. And then it stops, totally and utterly, as if there never was a sound. Only your ears still ring from the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a dangling cable in his hand. A black 3-pin connector.
Egg.
I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore. You did good, Egg. Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking hell. Programmer lady, tell me you were recording that.
4 years. 22 people. Millions of reals. All that time? This is what we were up against. Just erased it. Suliswolf isn't gonna believe this.
Yeah, but did you record it though? It was dope. I think we can use it.
Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, I need to send some letters now. Thank you all for doing this. Eggman, you too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. That's a start.
Kim, did you hear that?
It was very hard not to. I think you're right. There is something going on here. And you need to be very careful with it.
I promise, officer. We will not play it again.
What was that? I've never heard anything like that.
It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's what it was technically. Theoretically,
She shakes her head.
I have no idea. I've never even heard of anything like this.
A voice seems muffled in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after the exposure.
You're going to write Suliswaf?
Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too. And some of the writers. If they're sober enough to open a transmission. They need to hear. They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording. Although I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency anyway.
What happens now? Are you going to...
Stay here. I'm going to stay here with these lunatics. Send letters, maybe meet Suliswolf. Also devise further measurements.
I want you to know that's totally chill with us.
I don't care, but thank you anyway.
That's the best she can manage for Andre. It's quite a lot in truth. For her, at least.
Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this. Or the letter will sound like I've lost my mind.
Yes, and we have to get back to stabilizing Martinez. Instead of demolishing it with loud bass noise of unknown origins.
Some tiny hard thing lets go in your stomach. You're still alive. You don't know enough about the world. But that Joyce, if you knew all she knows, could put it together.
Logic godly. Form a theory on the 2mm hole in the world. Sure, give it a try.
You don't
What?
have to. You already have. A long time ago.
Sona, it is the origin point of the Pale.
What?
The swallow, it's how it starts. It's baby Pale.
But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
No, we're 20 meters from the very edge.
She looks up into the darkness under the nave, then back at you. You have her full, undivided attention. The lieutenant's, too. He takes his glasses off.
The Pale is only an effect, a transition between the world and that.
Then what is that?
It's nothing. No, it's less than nothing. No,
It's less than nothing. The final rest state for reality. Imagine if all this never was.
Then the Pale is...
Simply a gradient.
But the gradient, it clearly hasn't started yet. We're here, and the Pale is not.
One day, when it's larger, it will be.
I understand. A theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes. Like a cancer or a mold. Erupting in points inside the world.
This is one of those places.
According to this, how long?
Until it starts swallowing? It's already started. Starting with sound.
And information. Causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you considered why it's formed in a church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects in addition to sound and data?
I also have a question, since we are piling them on. How do you know this? I'm not doubting you. I'm simply curious as to how a detective of the RCM
Knows how to think this.
It didn't form in a church. The church formed around it.
Of course! A pine wood sarcophagus, or a containment facility of some kind, built by the first settlers.
Yes, acting on an instinctual level. Or religious practices we've forgotten.
I have considered the same. The bad news is, there were 7 pinewood churches built in the first decade of provincial settlement. Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air.
All the failed businesses in the doomed commercial area. All the failure in Martinez.
you think the presence of that puncture has somehow influenced the outcome of events here? Even say software development?
Yes, even the revolution was defeated here. I mean, a kind of anthroponetic history.
I told the producers we need to go and move to a normal office building with amenities. But no, the artists like the milieu, the writers like the history. I told them.
No, it's better they don't know.
I told them. But no, normal office buildings are bourgeois.
I think I've had this thought before. That's how I know.
An amateur anthroponetic police officer. I'd like to say I've heard stranger things, but I'm not sure. This is a hell of a guess, however. Well worded, I might add.
Yes, it is very interesting. But I wouldn't say you know. This is a guess. One that's going to have to be proved by anthroponetic scientists.
One day, all the world will be like that 2mm hole.
She falls silent. The wind blows in through the hole in the stained glass window. Cold and moist.
I'm going to leave that out. But the rest? Some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but
Man, you will certainly sound mad.
one more thing. Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space.
The club is the only thing keeping this place and the rest of reality together.
I wouldn't go so far as to...
Yeah! Once the light is on in the universe, it will never go out!
Thank you, Egghead. Let's leave it at that, shall we? We have anthroponetic detection to perform in this district.
I do have one mystery that still needs solving. The radio ghost in the doomed commercial area's electronic doorbell.
The creepy woman! We were wondering about that when we worked there, but I had completely forgotten about it ever since. It must be anthroponetic crosstalk, the one you get in radios and long-distance calls. Now it makes sense, with the pale right on the doorstep.
Incredible. This would also explain why we get it on the police radio all the time.
Anthroponetic crosstalk?
It's quite common, actually. When the signal gets routed through Pale, all kinds of irregularities take place. You may hear snippets of someone else's conversation, or the voice of your former lover, or an echo of an event that took place 100 years ago. Pale is a shroud of memories, and it doesn't really distinguish to whom those memories belong to. You could hear anything.
That makes sense. Thanks for explaining that to me.
Anytime.
Alright. Let me just quickly see how far are we. 68. I feel like I'll have to go with savoir-faire then, and afterwards I'll go with this fort, cleaning out the rooms, just because that was really difficult from a stat perspective. So I hope it gives great bonuses. But I'll leave you on that highlight, on that double 6 roll. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.